good afternoon, and welcome to this special Island Stat Sports Talk. I'm your host, Earl Basden. Joining me is Jason North from the Bermuda Karting Club. And Jason, this weekend, a big weekend for the karting club. No, it's not racing in Hamilton. It's not racing in St. George. No, it's not racing in Dockyard. But, however, it is a full weekend of races as it's a double header at the Southside Motorsports Park, Saturday and Sunday, full of karts going around the track, excitement building. Let's talk a little bit about how the double header came about.
All right. Good afternoon, all. Yeah, thank you for having us on. Really appreciate it. Appreciate the exposure and stuff. It's the 2024 Lindo's doubleheader race weekend. It's actually something that we've been talking about for several years now. And when I was previously president back in 2019, I'd started planning it. Actually, we had awards here and everything else, and then COVID hit. So that shut the idea down real quick. So obviously, I became president again this past season. And just wanted to reinstate it and try to run with it. Obviously, last year we had Court Street, so those events are hard to pull off on a yearly basis. Very expensive, very time consuming, and I've always wanted to concentrate a little more on doing things at our home turf, which is Bermuda Motorsports Park in St. David's. I know a lot of people know that we race, but how many people actually come down for special events and stuff like that? So we just thought we'd pull this one out, and it's like you said, it's going to be 2 days full of racing, and we're happy to say that we've also got the Bermuda Motorcycle Racing Association and the Bermuda Drag Racing Association coming alongside with us for the weekend. So they're going to be racing their bikes, street bikes, and on the drag bikes as well. So it should be a really exciting weekend, and even for spectators to come down and witness bike racing and kart racing all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, the season thus far has been an exciting one. Usually you get somebody dominating all the time in different classes, but this year's been unlike others where it's been somebody's dominated on this Sunday, and 2 weeks later it's someone else in a different class, and it's exciting to see. And I think it has grown the sport because now the challenge is on for those people who were dominating to mentally get back into the race, because once you feel like, oh, I'm dominated, nobody could beat me, and then you get beaten on successive Sundays, what happens now?
Well, yeah, I tell people all the time. I mean, I've been racing for a lot of years, and people think I'm very picky with my racing, and I'm always trying to be better. So even if I'm winning races, I'm still trying to get faster, because there's only a matter of time before the rest of them catch you up, right? Like you said, we've had some really good racing this year in several of our classes. So it's been exciting. We've also had the challenges of rain.
Yes.
We've had, Bermuda in general has been struggling with the weather, the wind and the rain constantly over the past few months. So it's affected us because we do race in the rain. And unless it becomes a safety aspect, then we will race in the rain and the wind. So it if anybody knows about car racing or even bike racing, they call rain racing the great equalizer. So it doesn't matter how much horsepower you got, you still got to be able to drive it and keep the power down. So It's been pretty exciting, because I think we've had like 3 or 4 opportunities this season for guys to put their rain tires on and go out there in the wet, and it's funny because some of the guys that you wouldn't necessarily see at the front every weekend, they're now a little more competitive, right? So it gives them a little motivation too, which is awesome,
Sure. Question. Now, I know you guys have a point series all season. This doubleheader, does that go to the points as well?
Yes, that's another thing we're really excited about, because not only are these guys fighting for doubleheader rights and stuff like that, but they're also still going for the championship points, the Rubus National Championship, right? So that adds a level of excitement to it too, because you got some guys that are coming out just for the trophy day, and then you still got a bunch of people that are still fighting for their spots in the championship. So normally when we do big events like Court Street, Hamilton, stuff like that, it's not for points. So this one here is going to be for points, and it's shaping up to be a good weekend. I think we've got about 44 carts signed up, and we also have an international driver coming in. for the KZ shifter class, which is obviously always the crowd favorite, the shifter class, you know. So I think we've got
Yes.
I think 14 or 15 shifter carts. So that's going to be really exciting, you know.
And that's the one that you do the rolling start for that one, right?
No, the shifter carts are the one the standing start. So they'll come to the
Standing
line, they'll
start.
stop, they'll put themselves in neutral, and then when the lights drop out, they'll hit it in the first gear and take off. They have 6 gears. You know, can see some good speeds on that track. And that's one of the classes that's been really competitive this year. You know,
Yeah.
pretty much any day you could get 4 or 5 drivers can win a race. So it's been really
Right.
competitive. And this is
I
just
know.
going to add. This is just going to add to it.
Sure. I know generally each race, well, you have a series of races going one way, and then after a certain amount of races, you change the track well, not change the track, but change
Yep.
the direction in which they go. Now, being it's a double header, are we switching on different days, or are we going the same way?
Actually, we are switching it right up. Right now, we don't even have a track laid out right now for that's down there right now. So tomorrow evening, we're going to have our membership going down there and building a new track. It's a track we've never driven before. And that track will stay closed until Saturday morning when we first hit practice. So this is going to be a track that nobody's driven on before and nobody's been able to practice on. So we're going to throw in a few extra practice periods here on Saturday morning. And,
Right.
you know, it'll be a brand new track for everybody. So nobody's driven it. So nobody has the advantage, you know. So
Okay.
it's like going to a street race where nobody has the advantage of practicing ahead of time, but it's at our home turf. So we're excited about it. The membership's really excited about it. We had our sign-up meeting on Saturday night, and it was really well attended. So everyone's getting hyped up for it. You know, we're not talking about the weather. We don't want to talk about that.
Right.
So. But yeah, so and then you know we're also excited because we're sharing the day with the Bermuda Motorcycle Racing Association and Bermuda Drag Racing Association. We don't get to really race with them much because obviously they start their season and we end ours. So there's not much crossover. But we've invited them to come out for this weekend. They don't actually start the season until May, so they're going to come out and do a little showcase. They're going to have a few riders down there. I mean, it might not be as many as they would normally have during the season, but at least they'll be out. We can share the facility. Because you know we all have to work together at the track, right? You know, we all share the same facility that you know Youth in Sports has given to us to use. So we just want to show the community that we are working together. We enjoy it. It gives the opportunity for the spectators and stuff to come down and witness both entities on the same event.
Mm-hmm. And it is an opportunity for fans and spectators to get up and close with the drivers and the carts, as you have what you consider pit passes.
Yep.
You must pay for it, but it's an opportunity to get close to the carts and really get a feel for what these machines are able to do.
Yeah, I mean, on race days, you know, we allow people in the pits. I think we charge $5 to get in the pits, which isn't much. For this event, we are going to be charging $20 to come in. You can come in right around in the pit area, mingle with the drivers, ask questions, all that kind of stuff. It really shows the closeness of our sport and allows people to, you know, like I said, come in, experience it, be a part of it. That's all obviously courtesy of our sponsors. You know, Lindo's, who's our title sponsor, came on, and you know we told them what we wanted to do, and they were all over it. They loved it. They've supported us for several years now. And the way I look at it is it's a partnership, right? And they're also doing their part for the community. They know that, you know, this is what this has allowed us to do now. It's allowed us to have free admission for spectators. So right now you can come down and you can spectate in the spectator area on the bleachers and stuff like that for free, which is pretty awesome. You can't do much for free nowadays, right?
Right.
So obviously, you know, we're gonna have vendors. We're gonna have food vendors and food and beverage vendors, snow cones, stuff like that. We're gonna have a kiddie area. I think depending on the weather, fun castle and stuff like that. So and like I said, this is courtesy of our sponsors, Lindo's, Auto Solutions, Chubb Bermuda. Without them, I mean, you know, a sport like this is really hard to keep going and offer these sort of things, you know. So we're really thankful to them.
Yeah, talk us a bit about the junior class because they're the future,
Yes.
and how well that has gone. I know years ago the club had brought some carts to put the juniors in or the beginners in, and they get a feel for it, and then all of a sudden they're buying their own and they're racing around the track. So talk to us about that program, and possibly getting more people involved.
Well, like you said, juniors are the future of any club, right? They're the future of everything. And the way we look at it is if we can get juniors involved, then you might get, the uncles and stuff like that down there, and they might want to get the itch. Before you know it, it's a family sport. You'll see many, when you come down and look in the pit area and stuff, you see many families here, right? It's very family orientated. So with the junior program, the club went out on a limb. We bought some carts. It actually started several years back, where the club bought some carts in and rented them out for the day. And so basically what it gives the opportunity for is it gives the opportunity for, somebody to bring their kid down who said, oh yeah, I want to go, I'd love to race go-karts, mommy and daddy, blah, blah. But obviously we know the investment is pretty hefty for anybody that's buying into it. So the club did that. And so now you can come down and actually rent a cart with a little bit of, with a little bit of training and coaching and stuff like that on Saturdays and stuff like that, and it allows the kid to come down, try it out. And you know what, there might be some kids out there, they do it 2 or 3 times, like, you know what, I don't really want to do this, mommy, I've had enough. Or the majority of them actually have stayed in it. Quite a few of our juniors now that have moved up into the other classes started in our junior rental program. So it's been a real good thing. Obviously, like I said, the main thing is, the initial investment by the parent isn't there, so they can come down and rent the cart for the weekend. And if their kid likes it, then they can come down again the following weekend or the following race day. We also, try to do some stuff on Saturdays if we can, where they can come down and practice and stuff like that. So it's been pretty good. It's been a pretty steady this year. We haven't been able to push it as much as we wanted to, because it's time consuming too, right? So we've got I think 4 kids on our rental program right now. And actually one just bought a new cart, so they're actually invested in it now.
Right.
So, that's probably about as much as we can handle at one time. I think we have 1 cart available now. So, once this weekend's over, we have some other kids lined up that want to try it out. So it's been really good, and we've actually got some sponsors interested in helping us with it. So that's really cool too,
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. Now, I know, because I look at the whole gamut of racing, and it's not just the guy in the cart. You have a lot of people working behind the scenes, making sure the tires are to the right levels, the engine is done right, and all that type of stuff. If someone out there has a young kid, male or female, that's interested in mechanics, interested in fixing things, would you encourage them to come down and try to get involved with a club?
That's a really good point you raised. I mean, there are a lot of people in our sport now that, they've tried racing. Yeah, it's not for me, but they love the mechanical part of it. They love being able to help out. I mean, even everything from, flag marshaling or being a part of the event. We have quite a few people now that are involved in the committee and stuff like that, and they actually don't have any ties down there anymore. They had their kids that used to race or whatever, and they went away to college, and now they're still involved because they enjoy it, right? And it's giving back, right? That's the thing about it. But like you said, I mean, if somebody wants to get involved in the mechanical side, I mean, people are always looking for help on a race day, whether it be just general help, with, like you said, tire pressures and things like that, and learning about the cart. That's always an opportunity, and there's always people that that are looking for that sort of additional extra set of hands. We do have a few drivers down there now that pretty much do a lot on their own, so it gets a little hectic for them as well, right? Because I mean, when you're by yourself, you're trying to race, then you got to come in, you got to lift your cart, you got to put it on the stand, you got to take it back to your pits, change tires, do certain things, right? So I mean, I'm sure there's always somebody out there that wouldn't mind a little extra hand, especially somebody who's really keen and interested in getting involved, So we don't actually, it's not like we have a mechanical program, I guess you would say, but there's always something that can be done in a go-kart. Go-karts, it's one of those things that's constantly keeping you busy. There's always something to check because, things come loose and, you're doing some good speed. So you want to make sure you're safe while you're out on the track,
Right. I think firsthand look at speed and how good these carts handle the road surface when you raced in town last year. And fortunately enough, people got up and close to the race course. When you're in the streets, it's not much you can push back from that. But you guys are always looking for the safety aspect, especially for the spectators and the drivers. But another opportunity for people to get excited. You race 3 races a day in each class. So that's going to be tough on the body if you do 3 races each day, plus the practice rounds that you do in the morning. Pretty rough come Sunday afternoon.
Oh yeah, you'll definitely feel it on Monday. But yeah, I mean, this weekend here, we're going to be doing 2 races per day. We've cut our race schedule back a little bit to accommodate for the bikes, so they can have a round too. See, we have enough time to do like you said, 3 races per day, so 3 rounds for each class. So we've actually dropped one of our class rounds to accommodate the bikes. That was all part of giving and taking to try to get these guys with us, and they can have a little bit of fun alongside us, right? And it's about showcasing it for the spectators, for the sponsors, for anybody else that's really interested in the sport and also their sport as well, right? So, the bikes have got a good program going, but like I said, they run during the summer. So we're looking forward to having them on board with us, and just making it a good day for everybody. It's gonna be hectic. It's been a lot of work.
Sure.
I have to thank my committee. Once again, I'm sure you've seen in the past, the president, sits on the top, but there's so many working wheels behind me. Just trying to get all this put together, and it's a lot of work. In the event, hopefully
I
by
see the work in the
Sunday,
background, trust me.
I'm smiling and very thankful.
Yeah. Well,
And
flag drops
and
at
the other
12:30
thing
on Saturday.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
The other thing I was
Yeah.
saying is that actually we're doing this in St. John Ambulance, right? St. John Ambulance is obviously a huge supporter of ours. We don't race without them. They're our safety shield when we're racing, But the good thing is, I can say that pretty much they sit there all day and don't do much, which means it just goes to show the safety of our sport, right? Even though we're doing some good speeds and it looks a little bit dangerous, yes, things can happen. But thankfully, the sport has become so safe over the years. But either way, we have St. John's Ambulance there, and they're gonna benefit from this with part proceeds to them, which is pretty cool. We try to do something for them every year, if not multiple times a year. Obviously, they look for donations, so we're really thankful to them. And like I said, thankfully to our sponsor, they're affording us to be able to do this.
Great stuff. First flag, 12:30 on Saturday, 12:30 on Sunday. And any last things?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at probably starting closer to 1 on Saturday, because what we're trying to do is like I said earlier, we got a brand new track. We want to make sure we give everybody enough practice so before they go racing, they're ready to hit it hard, And plus we had qualifying and stuff like that on Saturday, so we'll probably start closer to 1 on Saturday. Our goal on Sunday is to start at 12:30, and we'll probably run till somewhere around 5:30. Then we'll have our presentation and awards, all that kind of stuff, So yeah, I mean, it's Bermuda Motorsports Park in St. David's this Saturday and Sunday. It's something we haven't done in many years at the facility, so we're looking forward to it. It should be a great time, and it's free. It's free to spectate. If you want to get in the pits, get a little closer, a little $20 to get in. You can come mingle with the drivers, come ask questions, all that kind of good stuff, and get really close to the racing, But if you want to just come down there and grab lunch and grab a snow cone and sit in the bleachers and watch us, that's fine too. So we're looking forward to it. And thanks again to Lindo's, and Auto Solutions and Chubb Bermuda.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll see you for some fun time.
And thank you to you, Earl.
No worries at all, man. No worries.
Appreciate it.
See you Saturday morning.
Thank you, man.
Okay.
Have a good one.